Hello, everyone. Thank you for stopping by Cheryl's Place. Very much appreciate that you popped in and checked out what updates I have going on to share with everyone. First of all, yes, I've been gone for a while. Lots have been going on. There's still lots going on. And it's a little bit more overwhelming than I had anticipated. But that's all right. We're getting through all the things. So let's start with Teen Walkaholics. We're almost at the end of the month of the challenge. We are doing our best each day. I couldn't be more proud of each and every one of you. So thank you for making this month just so super easy, and you're doing fabulous. And thank you, my Teen Walkaholics. You're amazing. Also, I'm going to talk about some dialysis, but I'm going to talk about yesterday. Yesterday, I was up, pumped to work out with the Fit Squad. During the week on the Fit Squad, I do the live, Kirsten's live. That's Tuesday and Thursday afternoon, where she's live, and we're home or wherever we're doing, so we hear her talk, which is great and nice. And we don't chat really in the chat because we're working out. And then Saturdays is we get to see everyone's faces, beautiful faces, and I get to hear everybody's voices. And partway through the workout, I started to get a spasm in my back. So I thought, well, I'm going to leave my room and I'll just lay on the couch. I did a few stretches and it just wasn't slowing down. It was getting worse. So then I just came in, I waved, and I didn't want to interrupt, so I just waved and logged out. Then I was like on the floor for, I was pretty close to an hour, and just stretching and trying, and it slowed down some. I don't know if I moved funny, I don't know if it's stress, I don't know. I do have to lift some, heavier stuff around. Rick can't do that, Tyler's not always around, so, could be just a combination of everything. Today it's bothering me, but it's nothing like yesterday. So I was just really bummed because when you're you don't see a lot of people because you're dealing with medical things or whatever. In that time, you get to interact with people you care about and really love. It's just kind of a bummer. And so yeah, so I'm a little bummed today that all happened because I didn't really get chat or listen or all that stuff. So see everybody for long, and but there's always the next week, always the next Saturday. So we're hoping next Saturday is a full time we get to be with everybody, and that will be amazing. I'm going to talk a little bit about the dialysis. I do want to still do a video. I kind of been playing it in my head, maybe how it would work while I'm setting up and doing things. So I kind of have an idea how I think it might work. So I just have to, get that into action. But when I kind of said before, dialysis is a little bit much. I do notice, sorry, my eyes itching, allergies are just crazy. When they present it to you, they tell you everything, but it's the tone they use. And I'm not talking about the nurses that we work with. We met them further along in the process. It is, everything that led up to before that is, it's so much better at home, which I agree. There's changes in Rick that I notice. He doesn't have as many stomach issues because sometimes when we were doing the treatments at the center for whatever it was, 2.5 months or so, 3 months before we came home, he had to be in the bathroom a lot. That has very much minimalized since we've been home. He still doesn't sleep a lot at night, but he's getting enough where he doesn't always need to sleep during the day. If we're a little bit more extra active the next day, then yeah, he may not, he may take some naps or whatever. So that has changed. His food intake isn't just like, I know it was more than 10, but I'll just use 10 as an example. only like 10 things interest him before dialysis, and then nothing else. And now it's pretty much most foods. Most foods is back in his diet. The only thing is super spicy. He cannot no longer do. It really affects him. But for the most part, he's eating, a wide range of food, and that's good. And then there's another thing we had to change before the dialysis. No protein. Make it low protein because his body's not processing. Well, now that, the machine is doing the things that the kidneys would do, then, now it's changed. More protein. So it's like all of a sudden he completely barely ate anything, mostly super cold grapes, cold vegetables, raw vegetables, and a little bit of other stuff to now, okay, go back to pretty much a full regular diet and then eat a little more protein. So, those things have slowly changed, and his blood work keeps coming back good. This last time, they're going to give us, I call it iron. I'm not calling it the correct name, but we're going to get some this month. He's not low, but from when they gave it to him, he's at a certain level and he stays there, and then the body slowly goes, and so they don't want him to get below because his body's, from the kidneys not working, that part just can't keep it high enough, even with, eating a lot of protein. So, but they don't want him to take iron pills because then, body still has to process everything. So this is going to be a liquid. We're going to put it into his venous line and or via access, whatever it's called, the correct term. I'm going to put it in a syringe and put it in when I have his needles in. So, but there's days like they don't talk about, which I didn't even think about, is, his body is healing overnight. So now when I'm going to put the needle in, and it's a thicker needle, it still has a little sharp point, but the needle's thicker compared to a sharper needle, that it's like, I don't know, I don't want to be really whatever graphic or what. It's just tougher to get in because he's healed overnight. And then he only does it 4 days a week, so there's a 2-day off. And so then those days, sometimes they go good. Other times, whatever. And then sometimes it's the machine. Sometimes Rick's not feeling good. It's a plethora of anything and everything. And then there's days it goes pretty decent. Maybe, a moment to get the needle in perfect. Maybe the machine only beeped a couple times, but everything else, and that's a normal nice day. Those ones are nice. Those ones are nice. But that's not the norm. That's, anything can happen. Maybe a product that I have to use, a line is kinked, but you don't physically see it. But after everything, so then I maybe have to put something different in, blah, 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 blah. So I'll show some of these things when I finally make a video. So right now, besides some other things, I'm going to be honest, my depression is really, flared up, I guess, if that's the correct word to use. So I'm struggling, and just, I get it done. Then it was a couple Fridays ago, we had I won't get into graphics, but there was, trouble. The needles weren't going in. There was more blood coming out than I've ever seen come out of Rick. That doesn't, stay in the tubing. That goes back into his body. So I grateful, very grateful. The nurse called her up, Sarah. She came out, super great. She took care of the whole thing. We only had to wait maybe 20 minutes. So, I did all the things they told me to do until she got there. And then she waited to make sure the machine is running. Rick's doing great. And then, she went because she was going to go see another client, which they needed some help. So then that Monday, I struggled a little bit. And I went through, I don't know how many needles I went through, but I finally got them in. Because after you try for a while and you're pulling out a little bit and trying to realign, it's just like you're irritating the area you don't want to. So then I just pull out the needle, get a new one, clean up, sanitize his arm, and start over. So it took me a little bit of time to get into one of his fistulas. buttonholes, whatever. So we did it. And then Tuesday I couldn't. I went through 5 needles just trying to do the one, and I'm like, I don't want to cause damage because, it's sharp. It's sharp, and I'm poking in. So I called, and she so graciously, she goes, we thought maybe you'd call Monday. And I understand why they would think that, because you lose a little confidence after you see what you have seen, and you still know the things you need to do, but it was a little overwhelming. And I do okay with blood, but it was just how it comes out. It's so kind of disturbing in a way. Anyways, so then I haven't had any issues since. We talked about it, and she goes, yes, it's totally normal to lose your confidence. We had the Wednesday off, and then the Thursday, Friday went good. This week was decent. There's one day, it took, I think, 3 needles to get, but I did it, and we got it done. But anyways, so there's days like that, and if we didn't have these wonderful nurses, they're there for support. You can call for anything. You can call about anything, and they'll talk you through. You're having a bad day, and you just need that little boost. I'm sure if I called them, they would give me a boost. I haven't done that yet, but I'm sure they would. Because they're just great. They've just been wonderful to Rick and I can't say enough good things about them. And so it's been a little bit more some days, and maybe just in general, but we're doing it. We're getting through. Some days are hard for Rick. He's like, oh my gosh, are we almost done? Whatever. It's whatever. Oh my gosh, I'm just rambling. I'm losing my train of thought. I just wrote down like keywords here to try to stay, focused. All right, we talked about so that week where the nurse came Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm feeling good. Thursday, my confidence is back. I get Rick done or whatever. And then a gift that keeps on giving. Something happened, and it's not really my story to tell, but it does affect us because, it just does. And a bill came, and it got raised because of this thing. We were not notified. And I get this thing saying your bank account is negative. And I'm like, what? So Rick goes, I think that's just spam. So I showed it to him. He goes, I don't know, I'll look. And so he did. He looked at our account. Our account was negative. So we got that taken care of, But that was the day, how's the saying goes? Straw broke the camel's back. I binge ate. It was, you're thinking that's just a little thing. But sometimes the big things you can handle because it's big. It's just, you have to do it. And then, but all these things just keep building up. I binge ate. I hadn't done it for so long, and I binge ate. I can't even tell you what I ate. But it was not good. I think it was the worst binge eating I have done, in my life. And the reason I'm going to talk about this is because, so I said I binge ate. And what do you think? Oh, I overate. Which is true. I do not purge it. So all of that is still in me. Because the thought of doing that, I couldn't. So it's all in me. So 3 nights I had acid reflux so bad. And it was going on through the day, but kind of moving around during the day. So, there's a little bit difference there. And yeah, it was bothering me during the day, but it was worse at night. No sleep. I didn't sleep because I had binge ate so bad. And then super bloated, then I'm going to get a little graphic, constipated. Because I ate so much in a short amount of time, I am constipated. So I'm miserable. So for me, binge eating that bad that day, there's so many effects. I did not feel good. I did not sleep. I can't go to the bathroom. There's probably other things that just are not popping in my mind right now. And I did this to myself. but I had got to my breaking point where crying wasn't going to help me. That particular moment, I was pretty much angry of that moment in time, and so I could have talked to the person where this stemmed from, but it wouldn't have done good because I was very angry, and it wouldn't have been a conversation. It would have been, not good things coming out of my mouth. So instead of being angry at the situation and all that stuff, I just binge ate. And so there's more repercussions besides the depression that's leading me to the binge eating is the aftermath. And some people who don't binge eat or do not, some people may binge eat and they maybe, don't feel very good, but this was a full-blown, anything I could find, I was shoving it in my mouth. And so there's lots of things that take place afterwards. And and then, excuse me, I'm going to be real honest. I haven't ate great since that day. The first couple days, I didn't really eat as much. I was eating crackers and whatever because I was feeling miserable. But then when I felt better, I've gone to the bathroom and I'm, I wouldn't say back to normal because you still don't feel great. You're feeling sluggish. Your body's hurting because I ate things that inflamed my arthritis and, all this stuff. So I still haven't been eating good. You think, well, you just had those terrible days. Why wouldn't you? Because I'm depressed. And, it's just a cycle. I'm working on it. It's, I'll get there. I've got there before. But right now is just a lot more than I personally can handle. And what's happening? I'm getting Rick's stuff done. I'm doing the things Rick needs. Not doing so good for myself. The house is falling apart. I make sure all the things that we need on a daily basis are good. That part's clean, everything's fine. But the rest, I have tons of laundry to do. I finally dusted yesterday. There's just things. And I'm also going to share, and you're probably going to think it's super gross, but that's just, it's reality. Not right now, but before the binge eating took place, I hadn't washed my hair for 4 weeks. I thought it was 2 weeks. And then I looked back and realized it had been 4 weeks. Washing my body, taking body showers, doing those things, but for some reason my hair is just too difficult to wash my hair. So that's part of depression for me. Other people's different. So there's these things that take the back seat for myself, and I'm just, I'll plow through them. I'll get there. We'll get there. I'll get my house back in order. I'll get myself back in order, and all these things. It will happen. Right now, it's just not. And I'm dealing with it the best I can. So I think I covered all the things about my crazy binge eating that I have been. And, I ate a lot of Tums. That's not funny, but it was, I did. I ate a lot of Tums. I do have some it is good news. We have twice, and we're going to, this coming month in October, meet up with friends and family. And I thought that would give Rick a boost. And so we kind of meet like at a bar or restaurant, and it's too busy the days that we have picked, which is nice, so we all can be around each other, have a good time. And Rick didn't want to go. Not kicking and screaming, but kind of kicking and mumbling. But I got him there. And then when we leave, I really had a good time. I'm glad you did this. And so then the next month, it was kind of but I got him there. I mean, he had fun. But there was things, and I had a good time too. But there's also things of my insecurities that have come rushing back. Not all these people are nice, and I've known them for many, many years. But they all have gone to college. And I don't feel that I'm less than, but sometimes I can't keep up with some of the conversations. I know a lot of things. But sometimes their verbiage is, I don't feel I'm adequate with some of the conversations, because my verbiage, I read them. I read it when I read books, but they're not verbiage that comes out of my mouth on the regular. I don't know. So I have like these mixed feelings afterwards. I'm enjoying, but then there is moments I do feel a little bit low in the interactions, but I don't show it. Those are just my insecurities, and it's like so. Yeah, so I've been having a little of this in the back going on, and I know it's all me, it's all in my head, things, but yeah, so those are things, but I'm not letting Rick know that because I want him to keep seeing all these wonderful people, and these are just me issues that, I will get through. So yeah, so I'm looking forward to seeing all these wonderful people. And this last time, both times family came. The first time we met up, some people on my dad's side, his older brother and my cousin were there. We got to talk to them for a little bit, and my uncle's looking really good. He's got a lot of health problems, but he's looking really good. And then last month, or this month, I guess, Rick's cousin and her husband and son showed up. It was really nice because I don't get to see them very often. And yeah, it was so nice to see them. So we'll see who comes next month, and it'll be fun. I just don't know about when it gets really icky out, like super bad weather. How far I'm gonna drive Rick out, but we'll see. We'll figure all that stuff out when that happens. So yeah, so these are some of the updates. There's a billion more things I could talk about, but these are the things I've felt more so going on, and so I thought I would talk about these. So sorry if some of it was a little more was it TMI, but this is me, this is what's happening, and I share what's happening because I don't know, it's just truth. It's what's going on. So there's people who are out there because that Hurricane Helen just came by, thinking about you. A lot of people are good that I know, that I personally know. They're all safe. I'm very happy to hear that. And some people still are waiting for electricity, but if that's all they have going on, they didn't get flooding, and their homes are safe, and that's not perfect, but they're good. They're safe because they didn't get flooding, and their home is fine, and all that stuff. So I'm glad to hear that of all of the people we know. And yeah, I don't know. I guess I'm going to end it because now my mind has just gone blank. This is me. This is typical me. I have great ideas, things I'm going to talk about, but then brain goes completely blank. So, thinking of each and every one of you, never forget how amazing you are. Just never forget. We're amazing. We may have hard times. We may be depressed, but we will get through it. Maybe it'll take longer than what we thought, but we will do it. So I'm sending out love. I care about each and every one of you. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. And don't ever forget, you're so amazing, and I love you dearly. Bye. Bye. Yeah, let's see if I can make a heart before I try my clicker. Gina, we'll see. Let's see, Gina.